A question that surfaces a great deal today is spiritual practice and mindfulness and its link to business success. For example, you'll hear a lot today about the law of attraction, and many people wonder, what impact does that have on your business success? People like me are always talking about being decisive and taking action, and it seems as if when you talk about spiritual practice and when you talk about these other ideas, holistic ideas, you might say, there is an emphasis on getting into the right frame of mind, getting into the right consciousness, and the success will come to you, that you will be attracted to the right people, circumstances, and places, and vice versa. Now, this is something, of course, that growing up, I was very interested in as well. Very interested in metaphysics and new thought and this idea of the impact that the way you think has on your results. And what impact does it have? One of my favorite books was Thoughts Are Things. And in that book, it outlines the connection between the way you think and the kind of experiences you have. So I digested a lot of these books, read a lot of them, thought about a lot of them, and was very enthusiastic about these ideas. But one of the things that I saw growing up is that the proponents of being receptive to these ideas and letting things flow to you with minimal activity were also engaged in lots of activity. I saw them writing books. I saw these individuals lecturing, traveling the country, traveling the world, sending out millions of direct mail pieces, going on television, and essentially taking a lot of action and doing a lot of effort to make things happen. So that made me wonder, well, what are they saying something that isn't true? Is it a disingenuous approach that they're giving me? Is this really something I should pay attention to? And what I learned is that yes, this is something you should pay attention to. And not only is it something that you should pay attention to, it is a path that many successful business people pay attention to, whether they will acknowledge it or not. You'll hear, for example, a lot of business people talk about instinct and the importance of following your instinct, doing deals with instinct, just getting a feel for the person you're dealing with in the moment, and when it's right to propose something and when it's right to take action. And I write a lot about instincts myself. If you've read any of my books, I talk about the instincts that we all rely on and how those instincts can inform our behavior. Well, you might relate instinct to that spiritual idea, that there's a voice that is speaking to you about how to approach things. And perhaps that is one level that you might look at and say, okay, this is telling me that this is a great move, that this might work for me. Even though it's not clear, this is a good idea. But then the next level is that level of your intellectual capability and your intellectual reasoning. And that's where a lot of people get into trouble, because they have these instincts and they have these impulses and these ideas, but then when they get pen to paper and they start to think about, well, what should I do and how will this work? It doesn't seem like it's something that's going to work intellectually. It just doesn't seem plausible. And then they don't move to what is the third level of success, and which is so crucial, and that is the physical level, where you actually take action to move on those instincts after you've thought them through, after they've come to the conscious mind and you've decided that you need to take action. So the trouble that you can get into is believing that you should only stay in a place where you are receiving, enjoying, reveling in the the instincts and the impulses that you're receiving about how you might be more successful in your business. So the bottom line here is that this is a multi-level process. And if you would like to really blossom, it's important to be able to be receptive to those impulses and those instincts that come to you that give you the guidance. Now, you can start at any level. You can start at an intellectual level. You can start at a physical level. And many times you will, as a result of starting in those various levels, you will come to that place where you will, in fact, it's inevitable, you will come to that place where those instincts will be triggered and you will say, okay, oh, I got an idea. Here's what I should do. Oh, I got an idea. I should knock on this door. But often when you start in those places, it seems more difficult and there's more work involved and there's a track that you might take that is unnecessary. And I think this is what many spiritual teachers are teaching when they talk about the idea of connecting your spiritual self, your spiritual level, to your activities before you take action. So yes, as a business person, I am very much aware of the connection, very much aware of the importance, and I operate within that realm, understanding how important that is. And I would encourage you as well to become more receptive to the impulses that come to you. When you talk about things like you can still win and you can make it and so forth, and hey, this deal came together in some way, if you are intellectually focused, it just won't make sense to you. It will just not seem like there's any way it's possible. I was on a call the other day and I was talking about some deals that came through for my company some years ago that were very important to me, and it was at a time where I really needed these opportunities, but I didn't really see how it was possible to make this happen. It just didn't seem like it was plausible. But on instinct, I acted, and a strange set of occurrences happened that enabled me to make those things happen. You might say they were strange, or you might say that they were proof of the law of attraction, that once you decide something and you move on it and you have confidence and faith in that impulse, things come together for you to make that happen. So yes, there is a connection. Become adept at feeling those impulses. Become adept at acting on those even when it seems like it isn't plausible. And you will see how things will come together to help you achieve your goals. People will show up. Opportunities will show up. It will seem at times like the world shifts so that it can accommodate what is important for you. And you'll meet just the right person who can do business with you under the terms that seemed impossible to you before you ventured in that direction. If you like this tip, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you liked it. Share it with someone who will benefit from it. As one of my clients says, there's no insight like Taylor Insight. I appreciate that comment. And make sure you subscribe to my channel because I have a lot more that I want to share with you. I'll see you next time.